If you're on social media these days, you know that you just get bombarded with advertisements. And it's really hard to know what's worth your money and what's not. I took a chance on this mineralized deodorant, and I'm really happy that I did. I've probably been off of traditional antiperspirants for about 8 years now, after it came to light that some of the ingredients in many of those mainstream products are maybe not the safest. Ever since then, I was using a pretty well-known, all-natural deodorant brand, and I didn't really love it. It did a fine job with what it says, you know, deodorant, didn't have any issues with smells, but it did end up staining some of my shirts, and in the moment having some pretty obvious sweat patches. And really, I think the logical thing would be to say, well, that's what you get. You know, you aren't using an antiperspirant, so you're perspirant, right? But I just felt like there had to be something better. So when I saw an ad for Mineralized on probably Instagram, I figured, hey, you know, they're giving an introductory deal, whatever, let's give it a shot. I've been using it for probably 6 months now, and I've really been happy with how it's worked out. It definitely does the job of deodorant, don't have any issues with that. But on top of that, I think because you're starting with a dry powder versus a kind of wet bar that most deodorants are, I think you're taking all the moisture out to start with, so then it has to break through that completely dry area before you have visible sweat, versus the bars where you're already putting more there, it's already a damp area and there's not as much resistance maybe. I'm not a scientist, I don't know how it works, I'm just guessing, but it seems like it's worked in practice anyway. I feel like a lot less noticeable sweat spots on my shirt, and then I have acquired quite a few shirts in the past 6 months when I've only been using this stuff. And so far, none of those have even the smallest stain on the armpit. It comes with instructions, that little QR code you can scan to watch how to apply it. I completely didn't watch it, and I just made my own thing up, and it's worked out really well for me. So I just wanted to share that. You know, I'm sure the company would probably prefer that you just follow their instructions, but I've got no affiliation with them. So, hey, whatever. So here's how I do it and how it works for me. Of course, you remove the top, and I think the company says you're supposed to smush it down and then do something, I don't know. I tried that one time after I was informed that I was doing it the wrong way by somebody else that I had converted to using this. And they said you're supposed to, yeah, smash it down and then whatever. I tried that, and when I did, it poofed out and made a mess, and I felt kind of silly. So this is how I've been doing it. You just take the stuff, not compacted, just how it came to you in the mail. I just put the little pad on top here where it, you know, it matches right there, so it seals off, and then I just flick it like that, maybe a little harder, depending on how much you want, and then you can see it's got some there. Now that's a lot. I don't need that much all the time. That's more of what I do if I'm going out to shoot a wedding or something, but if I was just going to run errands, I don't flick it quite as hard. I just flicked it harder because I wanted to make sure there was something when I pulled this thing up to show you. But yeah, that's how I do it, in case you want to try it. So I guess that's about it. There's not that much to say about deodorant, I guess. Keeps me drier than most, doesn't stain my shirts. It is a little bit more expensive than your basic stuff at the grocery store, but to me, the benefits far outweigh the little bit of a price difference. So if you give it a shot, I hope you love it as much as I did. That's about it.